Yeah, so hello everyone. I'm very excited to be here, like all the pivoting time for this Cosmos ecosystem, like growing fast as ever. And I'm very honored to be here to be a responsibility for this, all this financial application and all this support for the Cosmos ecosystem. So today, let me explain a little bit about Crescent Network, where we are, and all these products we are shipping, and also, interestingly enough, Crescent Boost future. So let me restate our vision. So first of all, for the Crescent DEX, we pursue smart liquidity. So there should be a sustainable way to provide the liquidity for the ecosystem. And also we support diversity of assets. Now like in Cosmos, we expect like more than 100 projects coming in every year in Cosmos ecosystem. And all of these new projects, they need liquidity. They need to raise funds. And all this financial demand should be met by all this infrastructure in Cosmos ecosystem. And we are here for them, support this growth for this Cosmos ecosystem. And also, we support DeFi composability. There are lots of DeFi products growing in Cosmos. And it will be amazing within a year, lots of different kinds of DeFi products coming into Cosmos. And they need all of this ingredient of this DeFi. So a lot of liquidity in DEX should be utilized for these different DeFis. And it should be IBC transferred to these different kinds of DeFi so that they can be used as a collateral. So we support that. We want to use it, reusable liquidity for different kinds of DeFi in Cosmos. And so, like in whole, we are here for Cosmos ecosystem, not for Crescent, but for Cosmos. So now we have 3 significant features, including AMM order book hybrid, which is maximizing liquidity efficiency. And the other one is range liquidity, which is making AMM free. And also, liquid staking is built in for inexpensive security. So I want to talk more about our feature in the future. So this is our roadmap for next quarter. Farming version 2, liquid farming, market maker incentives, and sequential type orders. So let me explain more about farming version 2. Now the farming is targeted to each pool, but we have multiple pools within one token pair because of range liquidity. So we provide this liquidity incentive computed from multiplication of amplification factor so that we can fairly distribute this incentive among these different pools so that we can free the liquidity provider to provide liquidity with different range of the predefined price of this each liquidity. And also, we are going to launch liquid farming next month, which is providing minting of liquid farming coins from LP farming positions. This is very necessary because most of the DEX, it lock all this capital within the liquidity pool. It cannot be reutilized for other activities. We allow this to be tokenized so that it can be sent over to any chain like UMI, Kava, and other DeFi blockchain so that it can be used for other activities. So we value this interchain connectivity of financial application so that we can connect each other, grow each other, and support each other. Also, we are going to launch a market maker incentive soon. We already have order book, but it is not fully utilized yet because of this lack of liquidity coming from market maker. Now, market maker incentive will be alive. Our functionality lies on this score system with bit spread, liquidity depth, and liveness considered so that we can calculate the quality of liquidity provided by market makers. Our team is the best team who can design and support all of this financial calculation and efficiency for this market maker incentive. So not only for the major tokens, but also minor tokens can be well provided for the liquidity with maximized capital efficiency by partnership with other blockchains. And also we are going to support sequential type order. This is very unique context of ours because our DEX does not allow MEV because all these orders are transacted without any prioritization within a block. But now we introduce sequential type order, which is very usual thing in any kind of DEX. So we have two kinds of it. One is pre-batch order, and the other one is post-batch order. So pre-batch order is for MEV feature. So all the arbiters are taking profit from this MEV action. And we are auctioning this slot, prioritized transaction slot, so that we can receive the fees from the arbitrators and not sending them to validators or delegators, but accumulating that into our community and ecosystem within the protocol so that all these users providing liquidity, they can be benefited from this fee. So this is our philosophy. MEV profit should be stayed within protocol and not goes to validators or miners. So let me also explain more about our new features for the first quarter of next year. So managed LP, fundraising, liquidity bootstrapping, and trading fee, and DEX aggregator. So let me explain why managed LP is necessary in this context. So if you see other ecosystem, basic AMM is extincting right now because it is not very efficient. So more freedom to AMM is the future of AMM, and this will be definitely happen very soon in Cosmos ecosystem also. But it brings freedom, but also it brings complexity. So if you pursue this efficiency, then there's always coming this complexity of decision making and all this freedom. This is really difficult for retail investors to understand and research and manage, monitor this kind of risk and return profile for all this DeFi position management. So we provide this fund management feature for Crescent DEX LP, so that if you invest into LP and if you want to use this range LP for this capital efficiency and leverage farming, then you can use this feature so that this professional fund manager can rebalance your position so that you don't have to worry about all this detailed decision making along the way with all this price volatility. Also, this fund token can be tokenized so that it can be utilized for other DeFi activities, especially outside Crescent. And also, we think that this is a pivotal time for Cosmos. We are growing as fast as ever, and this unconventional growth, we need extra effort to support this ecosystem so that all these new projects coming in, they need this support to continue their innovation. So all these projects, they're coming with 2 co-founders, and they need a small amount of money to continue their work. there are like very potential innovation coming into this cosmos. But like not every DEX is very friendly with all this new project because it is very small. And like until it getting big, they don't care. But we here for them. We need to support this new project, very small project, with a little bit of money for this development proceeding so that it can be the future of bigger Cosmos ecosystem. So we need this feature, connected feature, from fundraising to liquidity formation so that they have enough fund to continue 6 months or 1 year to provide the POC, and then they can fundraise later in any other platform. So also providing liquidity for the initial investors so that they can plan and execute on this liquidity. So this functionality provides multiple types of actions for coin sale on Crescent DEX, and also utilizing our advanced AMM, which is ranged pool, we can provide investment opportunity who holds only one kind of token so that they can provide liquidity with only of this one token. So you don't need to swap half of them to other token to provide liquidity in Crescent. Connected to this, we are also designing liquidity bootstrapping functionality. So that all of this token can be guaranteed with some amount of liquidity locked in for this LP for several months so that it can be traded with all these investors. So this can be participated with other participants. For example, there is like one new token from ABC and the other token which can be Bcree, and then Bcree holders participate the part, and these ABC token holders participate the rest. So this is very necessary from our experience because like all these new token holders, they only have one of them, and it is not fair for us to force them to buy half of our Bcree to provide liquidity. So with technology, we don't need to do that anymore. So we are going to provide that opportunity for these new token holders. And currently, our platform does not have trading fee right now, but we are going to implement that in early next year. So we are a little bit special on this trading fee design because of the existence of order book. So order book has different category of participation, which is liquidity taker and liquidity maker. Those are having different characteristics on this platform because some of it are consuming liquidity, but some of it are providing liquidity. So we need to differentiate this so that we can support more traders using more providing liquidity than consuming liquidity so that there can be better liquidity quality over time. And also for the market makers are kind of partnership for all these DEXs using order book. And we need to be win-win situation each other. So we are going to incentivize a lot for these market makers, but in a very fair way, so that all these smaller market makers can also participate in this competition. And they need specific condition, like they are not gonna perform well if the condition is not really good, if the cost is too much for providing liquidity. So we need discount fee rate for market makers. So this kind of all of this design should be well considered before developing this kind of characteristic. And also, in the far future, this fee will be the main source of farming for LP and also market makers. But we are opening this competition across this methodology. And LP and market makers are doing the same thing, providing liquidity in a different way. So comparing this like effectiveness or liquidity providing with these two different methodology, we can fairly calculate the effort and result of liquidity provided from both methodology. So we are going to create this fair competition playground with these two methodology. So LP and market makers compete each other for better liquidity over time. So we are going to calculate all of this efficiency and fairly distribute the incentive for the longer run. And DEX aggregator, this is not landed in Cosmos in a big scale yet. So in Ethereum or other blockchain, this DEX aggregator is like a very main source of platform for trade any kind of assets. And it brings all the goodies. So for the users, the cost is lower because you can utilize all the liquidity from different DEXs. But now in Cosmos, this is particularly not the case. There are lots of latency on IBC, and users are not very familiar with this concept in Cosmos. So it creates a lot of unhealthiness, like more cost to the users, and users are locked within a website. Users are locked in a website, jailed in a website, and they only use one DEX. That's Web 2 experience, and we want to break them. Innovation is coming from open competition, and this innovation should not be locked by this Web 2 experience. Opening up all this liquidity aggregated in one stop so that users can utilize this liquidity at once. And this is also better for the ecosystem because there are more DEXs coming in Cosmos. Not only Crescent, Sifchain, Sept protocol, Kujira, all these different methodology with different advantages. We need to support this resilient ecosystem, tackling down with different technology. And it should be well connected to all these users. So we think the unbiased DEX aggregator is very necessary only for the users, but also for the development and growth of DeFi ecosystem in Cosmos. So now let me explain more about Crescent Boost. So let me state our vision for Crescent Boost. So first of it, we can make explanation of this Crescent Boost as one sentence, which is DeFi on DeFi. So a lot of DeFi in the world is very complex. So we provide integrated multi-DeFi experience and also lending from these DeFi funds and also creating derivative to be traded between DeFi position holders. And we also want to support multi-chain support. So these days, all of the products, these are blockchain agnostic. The barriers are breaking down, and there are like connected ecosystem coming in the near future. So Crescent team is breaking the barriers of blockchains, bringing a broader ecosystem to the Cosmos. The Cosmos ecosystem is rapidly growing, but still we need to invite all these other ecosystems in the world. So this is it. We are inviting other ecosystems, persuading those users into our application and then bring them to Cosmos. So now we introduce L2Fi, which is our new project, spin-off from Crescent. So L2Fi is layer 2 DeFi, which is a blockchain agnostic dApp operating upon layer 1 device to serve an integrated DeFi gateway. So let me explain this when bootstrap. So all of you will be very excited about this information. So we are suggesting bootstrap replace to airdrop for this new token. So this new token distribution will be one-to-one airdrop of L2Fi token to B-Cree holders. And this snapshot will be like across the past time and the future time. More information will be publicized soon for all of you, so stay tuned. Thank you.